Hi everybody, thank you for joining my channel. This is Living Divinity. So I want to start off with a prayer. Dear Lord, dear Creator, God Almighty, please be with us during this reading. Please be with us all day long. Please be with us through the night. Please help us to have a very good day. Please help us to find things to be grateful for. Things, people, places. Please help us to heal our pain. Please help us to make our lives better in all aspects. Health, mind, body, and soul. Our finances, our families, our friends. I send to you beautiful energy of love. So this reading, I have some cards that I wrote, and then I have cards from different decks. So let me start with the ones that I wrote, and I'll read it to you in the order that they came out. Blind faith. When love of life, love of people, love of self. Love yourself first. Use your intuition to find out things that are puzzling to you. Your intuition is your spiritual connection with God. The best way I can tell you how to do that is your alone time, where you don't have any interruptions, where you can go, say, to the beach and watch the waves turn. Get in the sunlight. You could be in a mountainous area, and you can go walk through the wilderness. And those are the places where you can ground yourself. And if you're unable to leave your house, then just peace and quiet with the TV off or the radio off. And just time for yourself to reflect on a situation that might be bothering you, or figuring out which routes to take. So when you've spent the time and you made a decision for whatever it is, you're really going by blind faith. Every day is blind faith. You don't know when God's going to take you. You don't know where God's going to guide you. You hear these stories about a plane crash, for example, and so many people didn't make the flight, but that plane ended up falling for whatever reason. Those are miracles. It's sad to think about the people who perished, but the people who stayed behind, they were guided to for some reason. It wasn't their time to go. Okay, so the second card is remorse for what you've done or planned to do. Well, if you have remorse for what you've done, you're going to have to build the courage to go back to maybe who you damaged, or who you hurt, and ask for forgiveness. And if you feel like you don't have the strength to do that, or if you think that it's going to be misconstrued and it's going to start an argument, then just pray to God and ask for forgiveness, and promise God you'll never do that again. And if you're planning to do something, know that whatever you put out in the world will come back to you. So just practice on putting out good in the world. The next card is you must be fearless to pave your own path. I've been on this journey, and I actually grew up with a house full of siblings, and I've always been with somebody. So since 2019, I've been by myself. And there were days that I really cried because I wasn't sure what direction I was going. Really wasn't sure. I kept telling myself, how did this happen? Why did this happen? And to know that if something bad has happened to you, when you're ready to let it go, fully let it go and heal, God's got better for you. So you must be fearless to pave your own path. And the last card I got is check out of petty situations. It's funny how all these cards just run right together, but check out of petty situations. So if it's known that a particular person always starts a fight, and you know it's on purpose, you have to mentally check out, because if you stay in there with your heart, it's just going to get more broke. And I know this because I've been through that. And only God knows why we go through these trials and tribulations. But always leave with love. Always speak with love. Always bring God into the picture. And if you choose to stay and work things out, for example, if it's a family problem with a spouse, so be it. That's what you choose to do. And staying together, I would imagine, is really hard work. I know people who have been together for 40 years. And some of them actually act like they hate each other. Like, why would you stay? Some people stay because, well, maybe they don't have a mortgage to pay and they get to live there for free. Maybe they don't want to take their child away from their spouse. But if it's bad and it cannot be corrected, you have to do what's right. And if you have a child, you have to do what's right for the child. So the affirmation I got, this is a philanthropist. Rhodonite, do you enjoy raising money for the welfare of those who are less fortunate? Activate philanthropic actions and notice how infinite supply becomes more available to you. Altruistic efforts improve the well-being of lives of others as well as your own. So this is a protection card. And the affirmation says, I have plenty of money with plenty to spare. Success is mine through perseverance, endurance, and clear vision. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. To be thankful. When I started this journey, well, I guess I've been on the journey my whole life, but when I started my awakening, I was living in Hawaii. And I was going through not a bad divorce, but it was something that had to end. He went off to the mainland and I stayed behind. And it was just me and my dog. So, walking like to the grocery store or something, if I saw a pretty flower, I'd say, wow, God, that's a beautiful flower. Just the small things. It's the small things that, when you show appreciation for the small things in life, it builds, your gratefulness builds upon that. So always be thankful for the simple things. People take water for granted. We have people showering for 20 minutes. Water is life to us. Let's not abuse our water. Let's be conscious about what we do every day. and God will appreciate you for it. Okay, so the two other cards I got was, got the Triumph on the last reading, I think. But this one is Psychic Tarot Oracle cards. So Triumph is a 7, and Love Begins with a 1. So these are powerful numbers. And in my other cards, I know I got 2 7s, so that's 777. Actually, oh, I got 3 cards from the tarot, so that makes 4 7s. But being triumphant, sometimes you go through so much pain, so much frustration, so much aggravation. When you choose to step away from that, when you choose to not engage, when you choose to take the higher road, when you choose to ignore those who are purposely trying to bring your energy down, it's a triumph. And you could walk away with your hands clean. And love, well, love is love. God is love. Love is God. So love begins. Good things to come. Alright, so for the actual tarot reading, I got 7 of Swords, 4 of Wands, High Priestess, the World, 8 of Swords, 5 of Swords, King of Swords, 9 of Cups, 7 of Cups, the Emperor, and 7 of Wands. So all these cards came out in that fashion, in that order. So just viewing it, what it's telling me is this emperor may not have been an emperor at the time he saw this high priestess. But he did see this high priestess as the world to him. Like everything that he would want in a wife, a spouse, someone to spend time with, someone to get to know. And in between the high priestess and this emperor is the King of Swords. The King of Swords played all these head games. Made this high priestess look opposite of what she really was. This king, the emperor, saw that with the 9 of Cups, that this woman was everything that he wanted. It's with the 9 of Cups in the world. It's undeniable. With the cups, you know, there's a lot of love there that he felt. But for whatever reason, he, for a time period, allowed this King of Swords to dictate. So maybe this King of Swords was someone he looked up to. Maybe there's some sort of conversation about the High Priestess. And the King of Swords was not wanting it, was not wanting this emperor to be with the High Priestess. So a lot of false words may have been spoken, a lot of trying to deteriorate the High Priestess and who she really was. The 7 of Wands is right next to the Emperor. So someone's being cunning about it. Someone's, probably still trying to put up illusions. But with the other cards that I already spoke to you about, love begins. So it doesn't matter what this King of Swords has done in the past. The feelings that this Emperor has for this High Priestess with the world and the 9 of Cups it's undeniable. It cannot be stopped. Nothing can be said about this high priestess to stop this emperor from taking his place right next to her. Isn't that a beautiful reading? I love it. Anyways, so that's our reading for today. And I want to tell you that I had one more card that I wrote that I wrote, and it was under all the other cards. It says, watch out for energy drainers. So energy drainer, some people call them energy vampires. They have this manipulative way of coming across like they're there for you. But they're there for you for their own reasons. They're there for you to suck the life out of you. Everybody plays a part in here. It's something that's designed for us to learn. It's something designed for us to be able to tell our story, for our collective to know that they're not the only ones going through this. In the world, there's so many people going through this right now. People who want to stop love because they don't know how to love themselves. You can't love yourself. How can you ever love anybody else? So we just have to be mindful of what roles we play. Because even if you're a bystander and something horrific happens, as a human being, as a child of God, you made a choice to either help the situation or stay out of it. And I know there's probably situations where two people are arguing and someone steps in to try to tamper it, and then the person steps in and then it gets turned on them. But we have to be fearless about protecting people in general. You know, elderly are getting abused. Kids are getting abused. People on the workforce are getting abused. Because everybody wants to get along and everybody wants to tuck their tail between their legs. Hey, they're not bothering me, so it's okay to me if they are bothering that person. That's wrong. That's a wrong mindset. That's a weak mindset. That's a selfish mindset. And the person doing the abusing, they've obviously been hurt. But they need to learn what is acceptable and what is not. An abuse of power, whether it's in the school or at work or in the justice system. Abuse of power is just what it is. People get, they get in trouble because someone holds power over them. They go and tell the boss's boss, oh, this person did this and that, which is a total lie. But the boss's boss, if he or she is righteous, they'll call that person in and say, I just want to hear your side of the story. They can't be in the middle of every situation, but they ought to darn take into consideration that maybe that person is abusing their power. Maybe that person is, hurting his or her employees. So anyways, this happens in families. This happens in the workplace. It happens everywhere we go. Someone wants to stop love because they're not being loved. And that person that's not being loved is not putting out love. What are they putting out? Are they putting out love, or are they putting out gossip? Are they taking their training of psychology and using it to their advantage? For that reason there, I myself, I say good for you if that's your profession, but for me, I'm going to search my soul. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to heal myself and make myself feel better. Because someone in that profession could make many judgments. They could make many, they could call out different things. But in the end, only you know who you are. Only you know who you are. And if you go into a session, and I'm not trying to tell you all to not go, because if you feel like going and it helps you, keep going. I'm just saying for me, I want to heal myself. Only through God is the real healing. God did make psychologists. He did make doctors. He did make lawyers. He did make, all these different people. It's through his divine source that people are extra intelligent. But don't abuse that. Don't abuse the tools that God has given you for your own self. Do it for humanity. Do it for the betterment of the community. Do it because you love to help people. Don't use it to twist people's minds. Don't use it to poison people's minds. Don't do it to confuse people's minds. We have to change the world one person at a time. It's just something that's in me that tells me what to say in these readings. It's God, the God that I love, the God that has taken care of me, the God that I am grateful for, because He listens to me and He answers me. Rest assured, your prayers, when it comes from your heart, He will hear. He will hear, and He already knows. And He will help you get through the darkest days of your life. I love you guys. I'm sorry I'm a little sappy. I'm sure maybe in time I'll work through it, but that's my reading for today. Thank you. God bless.